All right, everyone, welcome back to week 3 of SCSRA Live. Tonight we're going to be joined with Devin and Eddie. We'll be talking about what happened in week 2 of the playoffs, winners, losers, that kind of fun stuff. What else are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to go over the caution fiasco as well. So we'll all be on there as well, talking about that. What else is new, guys?
Got done in the Music City, right? Nashville. Decent mile and a half. It's tricky. It's definitely more technical than most mile and a halves. So we'll discuss that. We'll discuss the incident and truck race. We're going to discuss, with only 3 races left in the season now, the guys that have really come to that I think are going to be, serious forces to be reckoned with in season 7. And then we're going to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes things. We're getting ready for season 7. There's a lot of things coming. We've really been busting, but even today, we put in over an hour just discussing things, getting things ready. So, really excited for what's coming. It's crazy. I feel like we just started I feel like I was just getting yelled at by Junior after the 500. We're already. No, I love you, buddy. Yeah, I feel like that was yesterday, and we're already closing in on season 7.
This is a long season.
It was, man. 3 off weeks, and then Yeah, we don't have any off weeks next season at all. We're flowing right through. So we'll talk about it. Not the races, but definitely excited.
Yeah, I think in the brief conversation we had today, the off season's going to be about a week, maybe after the All-Star race, and then maybe 2 weeks.
Well, we could say the dates. We're not going to give you guys the tracks yet because that's one thing. If anyone watches this, definitely recommend sticking around. Next week, we're going to reveal the schedule. I think that's the plan. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're going to reveal the schedule at the end of the Cup Day race on Wednesday. So if you guys want to stick around. But yeah, we're aiming to start speed weeks on 2/21, and the regular season's done start of June. So we're going to get a full season in just a little over 4 months and be able to get 2 full seasons in this calendar year. So We're flying, man. We're flying.
That's gonna be big. We usually have a lot of off season or a good gap between the two seasons, so it'll be nice to not have that.
Yeah, no bye weeks. We could have started sooner, but we would give that Tuesday off for Valentine's Day anyway, like we did last season.
Right.
So it's just better to start on the 21st, and then yeah, literally no off weeks. It's done by the All Star race is going to be on the 12th of June. So we know how guys get pretty busy during the summer, but that season's pretty much done before the summer's even in full swing. So it's gonna be really really good for us. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be fun. Eddie, what's new with you? Anything fun and exciting in Eddie's world?
Not really, man. Just got those little V3 brake inserts, got those things put back together. Been tinkering around with the rig, adjusting a little bit, trying to see how that works, and just trying to get used to that pedal. But other than that, man, not much.
All right. So I'm pulling up the replay right now for the truck series. That's the one with the caution fiasco, right?
Yeah, correct.
So I'm gonna pull it up right now. Let's see, what can we talk about until that's up? Are the points official yet?
Points are official. Truck penalties, everything was handed down. So we don't have the official reseating yet, but the 8 moving on would be Michael Moultrie, myself, Eddie, Nick Fuller, Daniel Wiles, Brandon Zimmerman, Cody Atchley, and then that is the wrong series.
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah.
that's the next
No,
gen.
no. Tyler Aspinall.
Moultrie
myself.
didn't hit enough races, bro. Remember?
Yeah.
None of that sounds familiar.
So Tyler Aspinall, myself, Eddie, Nick Fuller, Matthew Fritz, Daniel Wiles, Joe Wright, and Brandon Zimmerman. 4 to miss the cut were Ryan and Riley Gomes, Blaze, whose computer passed away, and then Jay Stinson. So
Nice.
really competitive. 8 guys moving forward for Dega and Kansas.
Yeah, let me pull up the points here. So this is the truck series. So between 8th and 9th place was an 11-point gap. So yeah, Gomes, Richardson, the other Gomes, Jay, all out for the round of 8. There's only 11-point difference. The next gen one's the fun one though.
Yeah, that one's tight. It's going to be tight with the reseeding too.
Yeah, for sure.
Third through 8th are going to be pretty tight.
So in the standings here for the next gen, we've got Moultrie, Devin, Eddie Morris, Nicholas Fuller, Daniel Wiles, Brandon Zimmerman, Cody Atchley, and Junior heading in through the round of 8. Joseph Wright missed out by 2 points for the round of 8.
Who did he pat? Was it you, Hartney, that he got by with a couple laps going on the stage, battling with Zimmerman?
Yeah, I think so.
So it was tight. So those points, you may not.
Stage points are important.
Yeah,
They are.
Yeah.
They are. That's why sometimes people do just have to race people hard. I mean, that 1 point could come back to bite you. So it's certain situations obviously vary. You get what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
It is crazy how much you can race for weeks and months, and then it comes down to a point here, a point there. There could be a stage, I don't know, where Joe finished second and missed out on that playoff point. So that was one more point you could have had. You know what I mean? So it's just, it really does come to fruition, man.
Yeah, it does. So and then we have Joe Wright, Ryan Gomes, Carlton Charles, and Blaze Richardson that are out for the round of 8. It's next week going to Talladega. How is everyone feeling about that?
Yeah.
I think I'm probably speaking for Eddie. Deep down, we love it because it's Dega. Like, I don't know anyone who hates Dega, but I just am not a fan of the racing. That's so much out of my control. You know what I mean? And it's the coin flip battle of. Well, that's why we do it week 1, because that's why NASCAR used to do it race 3 of the round. So if guys are set, they were riding around all race, and NASCAR's like, hey, that doesn't make for a really good race when these guys can putt around 30th or worse all day. So that's why we're like, hey, we're going to put it race 1, and that's, I call it like the coin flip of Talladega every time we go here, because it's like, do we try and get our stage points, or do we ride in the back and maybe make a late push for a finish outside the top 5 in the stage, or go for it, risk losing your fast repair? We could have a plan all week until green flag flies. We're all qualified up front. We're like, hey, we're going to stay here. So it literally, like, there's not even any point in talking about what we're going to do, because I guarantee you it's going to change by the time we finish qualifying to the start of the race.
At least 3 times.
Yeah, man. Like,
At least 3 times. Yeah.
in my opinion, like, you could do a little bit, but it's one of those races where it's like you can't really practice too much. I mean, with max teams of 5, you're not going to learn too much. You got to kind of just have the restricted plate racing experience, to go out there and be able to push, be able to take pushes, which I'm really, really bad at. So it's a coin flip race, man. You got to be right place, right time. I think we've had certain situations for all of us at Talladega fall into our laps, and some taken away from us. So it just, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I don't think the whole league as a whole is as aggressive as it was the first few races of the season, so that kind of gives me a little bit of hope.
There's traffic behind. Take care.
You know, you got 8 other guys out there thinking about playoff points and stage points, and you know, you got the guys out there that are trying to win their first races and stuff too. So you know, you got a lot going on.
And I will say, being the numbers guy, this week, this Talladega week, the playoff Talladega race, has produced a lot of Cinderella, whatever you want to call it, first time winners. I mean, we can go back to Todd Mays, Brett Merle last season, Cheeseburger. Like, just like real life, this is a track where people get it done, man. Like, there's playoff guys racing. If they're racing up front for points, they get caught up. It opens the door for, you know, so many others. But kind of expanding what Eddie was saying, or I don't know if he touched on it, but it reminded me of it. I do love the team aspect of Talladega, because it's hard if you're by yourself to get this one done. You know, if you have teams of 3 or 4, they can really flex their muscles, especially if they get green flag pit stops. We've seen it in the past. So a lot of things can happen. It's going to be a good week of racing, man. It always is. Even when our car count was low and we were struggling, we were still putting on some of the best racing we've ever had. So
yeah,
it should be a really good week of racing.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite style of racing. So,
yeah.
Of course, I usually circle these on the schedule and look forward to them.
Yeah, Eddie's a big plate racing guy.
Yeah, the fried piper, baby.
That's right.
He does not disgrace that number 8 on the side of his car. That is for sure.
No, he
that
doesn't.
wind looks funny. You go so fast, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the replay pulled up here, so let's take a look at this.
And before this, too, just prefacing this, we had gone, a lap is this, 82? The only caution we had in this race was the stage. I mean, it was great racing. At a track like Nashville, turn 4 can be really tough, really slick. This track was super slick. I think we all got in the session, we're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it didn't feel anything like we practiced.
No, nothing like it.
Nothing.
But yeah, we had good racing up to this. This was literally the tail end of green flag pit stops. You know, if we complete this, you know, green flag pit stops are done. D Wright was stretching it as far as he could.
Yeah. So coming to kind of preface what's going on here. So D Wright's leader, he's on really old tires. 50, I think, what, 48 lap tires. So 48 laps, you're a decent ways off the pace here. So coming into one, Stinson's coming up behind him and doesn't gauge where D Wright's gonna go. But while saving it, car kind of snapped back right and put Stinson in the wall, which made the caution come out. So caution's out in turn 2. So if you take a look at the pace car, caution's currently out. You can see by the lights on the car. Caution is currently out in 2, which means that D Wright, as the leader, has to go all the way back around the track to catch the pace car. So if we watch the pace car, we'll kind of bounce back and forth here. So pace car is currently on pit road, does not leave until then, and D Wright is in turn 3. Right? Wait, turn 3, 4, where is it? There it is. So yeah, there's D Wright between 3 and 4, which is when the normally the pace car will deploy. So it will wait till the leader has come back around 2, 3, and 4 before it ever goes out. So D Wright, as he's coming up to catch the pace car. Everyone that's in front of him should have gone by the pace car. Everybody.
Yep.
And they didn't. So when D Wright catches the pace car, anybody that's now behind the pace car is stuck behind the pace car.
Well,
because
the thing is, we had stopped to stay behind the pace car, and then everyone's like, "No, go, we gotta go." And not to cut you off, but this is where it gets messy. Like if you pause it right here, because D is obviously the leader, so he is getting the pit open right here. But iRacing, as a whole, it opens it up as a whole, and it shouldn't be this way. The 6 or 7 handful of cars you see in front, trucks in front of them, they should have to come around. But they, since it opens for D Wright as the leader in 3, they have the opportunity to pit. There's no penalties there. It's an iRacing scoring thing. There's nothing that we would have been able to override there because, hey, the pits are open. They can come in. The only thing, you can play it again if you want. The only thing is that they got trapped a lap down because they took tires. There was no way for them to physically beat the pace truck off pit road. Like, I don't know why I made the decision to say, hey, I'm going to save my set of tires. There's still 30 to go.
Bro, this was almost hairy for me. Let me tell you, because like D-Wright was in that, and I was trying to get my lap back, and then I figured that they would still have to come back around to collect the pace car, and it was pretty sketchy for me. It's nuts.
Which they should have been, and I would imagine if they all drove around and then pit, there wouldn't be any penalty. I guess. I don't know. It was a bad timing thing.
No, if they would have drove around, if they would have driven around the pace car and then gone in, I don't think they would have gotten a penalty or stuck behind the pace truck. That's the thing
is, if they didn't pit there and they came around, would they get a penalty for pitting the second lap, like you would normally get if you didn't pit the first lap?
No, because they'd still be scored as the first lap.
So yeah, so they literally had like that big of a window to come down to pit road.
Right.
They just got trapped. Like I think I beat the pace truck out by maybe 5 car lengths because I was stupid enough to take just gas, and it worked out somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. So he goes back off pit road, and then currently these are all lap down cars that myself included, that are going to get the wave around next time by. Because Moultrie's going to come out leading, right? No, Moultrie gets stuck behind it.
Yep.
So D-Wright coming back around comes back to take the green. Everyone else gets released again.
Yep.
So
and it ended up with him having fresh tires, and then Tyler Aspinall, Fritz on newer tires, Joe, Eddie, and myself.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was a mess. It was a bad timing thing. Very bad luck.
I didn't take tires there because I was lucky dog. I didn't have a chance to.
This was a quick caution too. I was surprised at kind of how fast it went with how much. Usually it's like 3 or 4 laps when there's a timing issue. But you see everyone gets released. Well, all of the cars that should have gotten released did, but everyone up here is still... Were you a lap down at this point, Devin?
No, because I only took fuel. I beat the pace car off by a couple car lengths to stay on.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so that was the cluster of the truck race. Other than that, it ended pretty well. Tyler came through to win the race. But yeah, not really a whole lot of else. A lot else went on through here.
Yeah.
Again, like Devin had said, there's not a whole lot that we could have done in that situation. Even as race control, I mean, there's nothing I would have been able to do. I can't wave people around like that. When it comes to cautions, iRacing controls that. We don't control that. Maybe something in the future, but that's when we have something that's completely dedicated to it. But you know, there's nothing really we could have done. It was an iRacing timing and scoring issue.
So kind of expanding on the race itself, One thing I want to talk about is there's definitely been coming and goings of people this season, but I mean, Tyler's gotten his first 2 wins back-to-back weeks. Does that make him the championship favorite, you think? I mean, things are pretty tight on the truck side throughout. I mean, he's the only guy in the playoffs now with multiple wins this season, so there isn't going to be many bonus points to start. And you know, if you look back a couple weeks, he had Gateway 1. If it wasn't for a poor caution. I don't recall Homestead. I believe he was up there early. I think he may have finished third and then winning the last 2 weeks. I mean, is he the guy to beat right now?
I don't know if he's the guy. I mean, we're going back to Talladega, so I mean, it's anybody's game at this point. He could get crashed out and lose everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that any of your top 8 at this point, anybody that's in the championship, there's no telling what's going to happen until tomorrow or until next week. Once that happens, I mean, then we'll have a better idea, or be able to gamble on it. But heck, for all we know, there could be an incident that takes out the top 8, and they're running in the bottom of the race.
And you could make an argument for every driver in the top 8 that they deserve to be in the Final Four. I mean, just looking at the standings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's been super consistent. I mean, everyone in the top 8 has at least 6 top 10s.
Yeah, they're all there. The only one that made it in just by being consistent, Brandon Zimmerman.
Yeah, which is weird because I feel like he's always in the top 5. Like I feel like he's always like he's wherever Daniel Wiles is, and I'm sure he'll tell you that too.
Yeah.
But
got that roasted gems vehicle up there on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close for sure. I mean, we got 3 drivers, Neon up there. So who wins the team championship?
Oh, we already know it's gonna be Neon.
Oh, we're not kicking ass right now.
In case they're watching.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you got 3
it's
for
pretty
Neon.
wide open, man.
You got 3 for Neon, 2 for Tyler Aspinall, 1 from Venom, and 1 from America, and 1 from Trackside. So
yeah,
it's pretty close when it comes to team standings.
It's a good mix, and I think that's probably part of the schedule. I mean, some of these guys killed it on dirt. Some of these guys made up a lot of points on the road course. I mean, I think it's a product of the season schedule. It was so all over the place. There was definitely chances for people to flourish here, maybe struggled here, and then pick it back up on this type of track. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really good week of racing for sure. And then Kansas too. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but Kansas is a pretty racy mile and a half. So that's going to be a good week.
I think the last 3 races are going to be pretty great.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Dega, Kansas, Phoenix.
I mean, Phoenix was our first non-Daytona race in the next gen, and take away the cautions, it was pretty good racing. I mean, we can dismiss the cautions because it was most people's probably first race in these cars, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that was some damn good racing. I mean, it went in waves. Like this guy was fast in the first quarter, this guy was fast in the second quarter, this guy started the last half of the race fast, and then Eddie won the race. I mean, you were up front all race, but you led your laps right at the tail end. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was such a coming and going race, which was like to a T what we saw in the actual first year of the next gen cars. I mean, the first year of next gens, it was really rare for a guy to go out and just smoke the field. It was, you could think you're going to win the race in the first 100, and then you're finishing outside the top 20. And that was Phoenix, man. I was so blown away when we got done. I'm like, man, dude, I was leading the first 40, outside the top 10 for the next 40. Then the next 40, I was battling to get into the top 3 again. So if we have something like that for a championship race, it's going to be pretty badass.
Yeah, it's going to... I'm excited to see what happens the rest of the season for sure.
It's just Talladega, man. You gotta flip that coin. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Maybe I'll win it. You never know.
Never know, man.
I was close to winning Daytona 2 seasons ago.
It's the Cinderella weekend, man. Let's just start calling it that. It's our Cinderella weekend. I mean, how many first-time winners have we had here?
Yeah. I don't know. You're the stats guy.
Well, off the top of my head, before we rebranded, he'll thank us for doing this. Junior got his first win at this Talladega weekend. Before we rebranded, he still doesn't have an SCSRA win. But then, yeah, Todd Mays got his first win here. cheeseburger, which was probably the best celebration I've ever heard over race comms in any league.
Where I about pissed myself before he even crossed the line.
I've never heard someone scream like that.
I thought he done died or something, bro. I didn't know
Uh,
what was going.
Wait, do I have that replay?
And then Brett was able to hold off hard charge from his brother last year in next gen to win. So it's yeah.
I do have the replay.
What season will that have been? 4?
2 probably.
Yeah, because I don't think it was last season.
No, I think it was season 4.
And was it Xfinity? I can't
I'm
remember.
checking right now. Michael Lawrence. He won season 3, Xfinity, Talladega, leading 1 lap.
The only one that mattered.
Talladega, man.
The only one that mattered.
I do have that replay. Hold, please. We're going to go just to him queuing up on mic.
Talladega's been damn good to the series. We've had some pretty good races.
Yeah, super speedway races usually are. If you get the right people in there, they're pretty good.
And it's, we seem to always get a green flag pit stop. You know what I mean? I can check the numbers here. Talladega. Yeah, 10 races, 8 different winners.
That's crazy.
Say what?
So season 1. No, I'm going the wrong way. Let's check it. Season 1. Xfinity was won by Joe Wright. And then season 1 trucks was Eddie. Season 2 trucks was Eddie. Season 2 Xfinity was Todd Mays, leading 3 laps. That was his first career win, so that's 1 right there. Was that your first SCSRA win? No, I think you won Daytona or before that. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I won a Daytona before that, I think.
Season 3 truck was Cody Moore. Season 3 Xfinity was Cheese. In a race that had 29 lead changes. Oh, yeah, there's another one. Season 4 trucks, Joe Tardif. First career win. That's 4 right there. Then Eddie again. Season 4 Xfinity. I won the truck race last season. The race had 33 lead changes with only 2 cautions in an 18-car field. That's not bad for Talladega. And then Brett got his first career win last time we were there, next gen. It's crazy. I did not think there were that many different winners there. Eddie's the only
Magical
guy.
place, man.
Eddie's the only guy to do it. What, thrice? Twice?
I got 3, I think.
They're low enough. Not at all.
Dude,
Yeah,
at one point I was going for 5 super speedway wins in a row or something stupid.
Oh yeah.
That was last season, right?
Aside from last race at Dega having 5 cautions, the 4 before that had a max of 2. It was 2, 1 for the stage, 2, then a couple with 5, and then 3, 1 for the stage, 2, and then 1 for the stage. So we get a lot of green flag racing in these races, and as many lead changes as 33, as little as 16. Most of them are in the mid 20s, so it's gonna be a really good week of racing. I'm sure we're gonna have our biggest field since Daytona. So,
All right, you guys ready to watch Cheese?
oh, let's roll that gold, man.
Right?
This is
Volume alert.
yeah, right. On the stand. All right, now they're all talking.
Cody, you ready? We're gonna do this. Let's get a run.
All right, so now I'm going to turn up the chat. Hopefully no one starts cursing.
Thank you, sir. I almost took you out after that.
Damn, Joe, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was slow like that. My car looked that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think you were looking that bad either. I was surprised, actually.
Gotta turn up that chat. Can't hear it. Look at that. He's fourth on the inside, and he wins this race, dude. It's crazy. Who's I pushing it for? Oh
That's
my
Nudie.
gosh, I remember this race, dude. Kyle's gonna block Colin, and I think I'm clear on the bottom. I'm like, I'm finally gonna win Talladega. There's that. And then Colin
Goodbye,
blocks
Will.
Kyle.
I
And I'm
think
like,
I'm gonna
I'm
blow
clear
up.
to the bottom. And then I get bang so hard in the right rear quarter. I thought I was clear. This one drove me mad. I'm like, oh, I got it, man. They're all wrecking.
Bro, I was mad. Kyle pushing me like, yeah. I mean, it's towards the end of the race, so you can't get too awful mad about it.
Oh, there goes everybody else.
Shavers.
Here, Colin blocks. Yep. In the wall. I think I'm crystal clear. Tagged. Sees part.
Cool.
Yep.
Hell yeah, brother! Nice job, Cheese! Oh man, Cheese gets his first win last week in Super Trucks and now gets a win here. Congrats, buddy.
Exactly here.
Let's go, Cheese.
Good for
And
Cheesy
I'm
B,
fighting the nastiest
That was
cold
crazy.
I've ever
That was crazy
had.
finish.
Awesome job, dude. Congrats.
Nuts. Nuts.
That was
Dude,
awesome.
Cheese, that's awesome. Nice job, buddy. Nice win, Cheesy. Nice job, Cheese.
Man, you can.
Attaboy, TZB.
That's the kind of like support that.
Just glad Colin didn't win.
That's the kind of support that we actually like. I mean, everyone was so freaking excited for him.
Oh, that's like Earnhardt's 500. I mean, if you look to the right, every picture was at the end of pit road to give him a high five.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome, man. First wins. This league's super competitive, man. They're really hard to come by. You know, it's definitely something to be really excited about.
Yeah.
Yep.
He did great. Where did that thing go?
Oh, that's 500 to 1. No offense, and Tupac showed up tonight, except for when I just got taken.
All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, real quick, for the admin box. Again, you can check out admin box. I'll leave the description or the link in the description below. We will be right back. Luckily, it's a quick commercial.
Yeah, we're super thankful to have them partner with us. Been looking for one for a while, so I may have to pull the trigger on that.
I think that you will you'll find it easier to do race control while racing if that's something we have to come to.
Yeah, I don't know. We can definitely transition to Wednesday with them because I don't know if I'll be doing another paint scheme with them as a primary. So, that was bad juju. I'll break the ice on Wednesday, put the damn thing in the wall in qualifying. So, just another super competitive race, man. I mean, qualifying was what 3/10 separating first and last.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Not the place you want to put it in the fence out too. Yeah, I don't mean how many cautions do we have? The stage, just the stage.
Just the stage, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like we have fields of 10 people anymore. We got decent fields late in the season, man, and people are keeping cars pointed straight, racing hard, and definitely door to door. You had to be able to pass here. It was tough. Congrats to Nick for getting his first next gen win. He's always around like Brandon. He's kind of always around that top 5, and these things are hard to win. So you need whether it was a field strategy, which this one came down to a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. It was a lot of it. He was able to pull away by 5.3 seconds. Michael Moultrie led the most laps, finished second. America Racing with a 1-2-3. Then I got 4th with Brandon in 5th. But yeah, just more green flag racing, man. I don't know what more you can ask for. I mean, I don't, it may suck when you're on the wrong end of things, but I kind of like the chaos of being in Discord and green flag pit stops coming up and being like, okay, what do we do? You know what I mean? Do we risk the short pit getting trapped? Because with the arrow here, short pitting can win you races.
Can also lose them for you too.
It can. So it's like
Just as
I enjoy
fast.
that. I enjoy that battle. We don't run into them too often. But yeah, it was a good race. I mean, green flag racing. I don't know what more people would be looking for, and it was good racing throughout. A lot of side by side.
The whole season's been like that. It's been really good racing at a lot of tracks we didn't expect it, and bad racing it at tracks that we expected it. So,
and we've kind of done the trial and error. We've done the trial and error too to know, like, hey, these tracks just aren't it right now. So we can avoid those moving forward, and we know what's going to kick ass. Like, if you didn't watch Richmond, go to Noma TV and just watch the entire Richmond race for next gen. I mean, that was incredible. You can go to Auto Club. You could go to. I mean, the Martinsville racing was pretty good for the 7 laps of green flag racing we had. Whatever.
Like I said, we knew there were some problems.
Yeah. No, it's been great racing, man. Even look at Gateway too. There was, the dynamic. Thank you to iRacing for the dynamic weather, whatever you call it, because we picked up half a second at the last 10 laps with cloud cover. So it's been bonkers, man. It's been really good racing.
Oh man, that dynamic cloud cover for Nashville for qualifying.
Yeah.
What a difference that made. I mean, it was the first 5 minutes or 4 minutes of qualifying. 5 minutes of qualifying were just deadbeat sun on the track. And then I went out and
like 120 degrees or something.
Yeah, it was 120 degrees at the end of my qualifying lap. And then cloud came over the track, and it dropped it down to 111 within 45 seconds to a minute. And then everyone else started going out on track. By the time everyone finished their qualifying runs, it was 103 degrees or 107 or something like that.
Yeah, I was dropping a pre-race ritual, and I come back to hear Spotter Hartney. All I can hear in the mic is clouds. You gotta go if you haven't, Devin. I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah, dude, it made such a difference. It was a huge difference in it.
Yeah.
That
was good racing, man. Like, kind of, we spoke on Tyler and how he's really found his groove. I think 2 guys that are really going to be guys to watch for, or I'm going to be watching for going into season 7, is continuing off of what we were saying about Brandon. 65. He's had just a really strong season too. I mean, 7 top 5s, 11 top 10s. There's only 2 guys that have double-digit top 10s so far, and he's one of them. He's just always there.
Yeah.
I don't know about if you guys have noticed it, but Brandon, and then another guy that I'm really high on. He's shown speed. I don't know if he's just ran into a couple things. Like last week, I know he had a speeding penalty, but I feel like you got to watch out for Cody, actually, in the 12. Those are 2 guys that just seem to always be there, but are missing like maybe that last 10% to be able to get it done at the end of these things. I remember Cody was flying at Sonoma. I don't recall what happened. Flying at Sonoma, flying at Charlotte. Really quick here last week. So yeah, I mean, it's just, you look at, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, look at the top 8 in the playoffs. Moultrie, 4 wins. Myself, 4 wins. Eddie, last year's champions, got a win. Nick's got a win. Danny, he's always qualifying, running up top 5. Brandon, Cody, like we said. And then our last guy to make it in by 2 points, Junior. I mean, Junior's found some speed too the last 2 weeks. 4th place at Richmond.
Yeah.
So there's guys that are peaking, and if they can carry that momentum into season 7, then playoffs are just going to get way tougher. There's a lot of guys that have taken, you can see a significant jump from, holy shit, I don't know these cars last year, to now they're in their groove. You know what I mean? And I think all 3 of us are on the same boat. I mean, we've been practicing together, and I thought we learned a ton and executed really well at, let's say, Homestead. And then we learned that maybe we got to find a little bit more last week, because I don't know about you guys, but I felt super comfortable after our test session for Nashville.
Yeah.
And it just, and it was fast. That's the thing, is it was fast. It was comfortable. We were missing that last 5%. And it's just, it's one of those things we're going to run into because you can only learn so much in the hour before the race. You know, people are going for hot laps. You want to focus on yourself, but it's until you're out there turning those laps, like we saw, like our pace of practice just wasn't quite enough for race trim. But I feel like if you have an hour throughout your week, just do it, man. Just do it. If you can get your team on to do it for an hour, just do it, because we've been putting in some, I'd say, pretty serious effort since Homestead, and I feel like all three of us have been faster than we would have been without it, to say the least. So I enjoy practicing with you guys, taking the time to do that.
It's the tire saving thing that I have a problem doing.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just one of those things that has to click for you.
Yeah,
There's
for
still
sure.
some tracks that I can't get it to click, but just test it, man. You know, go in a practice session, and even if you want to test the first stage, burn the piss out of them for 40 laps, and then take it easy for 40 laps and just stare and compare. And it's not easy because there's no rhyme or reason to it. There just isn't.
Yeah.
You just have to feel it, and then once it clicks, you know what I mean? Like some tracks, like Eddie. I hate Texas. He clicked at Texas. It just clicked.
Vegas.
Well, both Texas trucks and then Vegas next gen, and then Hartney, Indy was just lights out. Atlanta, or no, was it Atlanta?
No, it was Indy where
it was Indy.
it was Indy where I had like a 12-second lead.
Yeah, so it's just certain things click, but yeah, I'm on a tangent for sure. But it's the top 8 are all deserving as well. You could argue there's some dark horses that could make a late push. But we're seeing kind of the same 4, 5, 6 people throughout the season. So it's going to be curious to see how it plays out, because there's only 4 spots.
Yeah.
So
and that's another thing, man. That wild horse could lock themselves in with that win right there.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Junior's finished second there a couple times now, I think, and he's the 8 seed. If he pulls something off, that throws a wrench in everything. Because, well, I mean, if you would ask me, I mean, the top 5 are Neon and America. You could say, 2 from each can get in, or 3 and 1, or you know what I mean. And the M&M Racing number 13 sneaks his way in, then it's going to wreak havoc for some playoff guys.
We never discount him.
No. Or even Brandon. Like, Brandon could finally break through. Blaze broke through at Daytona for his first win. It's a Cinderella weekend, so it's going to happen. It's going to happen Tuesday or Wednesday.
Or someone not in the playoffs could win and steal it from everybody else.
Yeah. Yep. Because, I mean, playoff points don't matter after going into Phoenix, so. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I say that until I'm junked and I'm miserable and don't want to go back, but we'll see.
Wiles said racing's been amazing in this league. Danny here, LOL.
appreciate that.
We appreciate that, man. We've, with the raising the floor of the iRacing cap and then raising the floor and keeping the cap the same, I feel like we're building a really strong core group. Like I've said in the past, there's no shame behind it. We finished seasons with 10 people, 9 people. A couple seasons, we're like, we don't know if this show is going to go on. And now we had that many people sign up after opening it for less than 12 hours?
Yeah.
So we just have a really good foundation to build on. Moving forward, like I said, we talked about it a lot today. I don't know about you guys moving forward, but one thing I would love to see is less free agents. I would love to see people go out on a limb and say, hey, if we're all free agents, let's just put our own team together and just, 2 people in a Discord together you can learn so much from just one person. So that's something I'm really going to stress, man. Don't be afraid to take on some of these guys. Like, I know, like, if Danny's still here, he brought in Nick for Wednesdays. Nick wasn't racing with anyone for the longest time, or maybe he was and just went over, but
yeah,
we'd love to clear up that free agency pool, because we're obviously aiming at 30 plus people again. We're off to a great start. And that's the thing too. I think we can say that we're going to have the schedule. I think we already said it. We're going to release a schedule after Talladega. Yeah. So that leaves us 6 weeks to recruit. There's zero excuse from any of us 3 to not have 30 plus 35 people. And we just don't want to have free agents, man. We want to see full teams of 4, full teams of 5 battling for that championship, that team owners championship. So yeah, the racing's been great, man. There's just a lot of guys are really coming to their own. Even the Gomes, like Ryan, I was looking the other day, and I can double check myself, but I'm pretty sure he's third all time in next gen top tens. He's just one of those guys where that win's coming. He's shown flashes.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
he's swept the poles at Homestead, or at least got one of them.
Yeah, and he puts time into practice too. So
Yeah, and there's clear results of that. I mean, next gen, he's got 8 top tens.
yeah, he's a good guy to practice with also.
Yeah, no,
Or
absolutely.
bounce stuff off of, yeah.
And then I know Jake, both the McCartys have shown speed at certain tracks. I mean, Max was flying at Sonoma. If he could have got up to or Moultrie, that would have been a hell of a race. And then Jake's had some really good runs. Brett's shown his speed at the short tracks, Richmond, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we got a really good core going into next season. So,
I mean, it's just not even the core. I mean, that's awesome, but we keep touching on this. Like, the racing itself has been so competitive this season in next gen and in the truck series. It's just been awesome. It's not dominated by any one person. There's definitely faster people than there are, but everyone has definitely stepped up their game this season. It's apparent across the board. So it's awesome to see that everyone's doing that. You can definitely tell who puts in time and who can't because of life. I mean, that happens to everybody. But this season has just been phenomenal when it comes to the competitiveness of everybody and just increasing and doing better. It's been really good to watch. I mean,
I'll back that up till I'm blue in the face. My only truck win was a Flyer 2-tire strat at Gateway, and you could ask Eddie, I was screaming after that race because it's just so tough to win these races, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, we put in so much work at Richmond, and like you could see the speed there. So it's cool when it clicks because it's so hard to do, man. There's so many guys that are putting in time, and there's so many guys that are just raw speed.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what kind of track we go to. So, I mean, it took a wreck in front of me to do it. Tyler should have won the race. Took a wreck in front of me to do it, and we held him off with 2 tires. We led, I think, 3 laps. But you would have thought I just actually won the 500 and didn't get wrecked by juniors. It's just one of those things where I was screaming that we stole one, and sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, it's
in this league, definitely. It's sometimes
it makes them that much more special when you get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Who was it? Jeff Burton, Mark Martin. Treat everyone like it's your last because you don't know when the next one's gonna come. You kind of have to, man. Well, I mean, I've gone on wicked spells. I'm sure Eddie has. You know what I mean? Hardly years is coming.
Eventually.
But you just have to, man. I don't care. Be like, well, it's a sin. You don't get it, man. Unless you're a part of this league and know what this group's been doing, know the skill level. There's like yesterday or Wednesday, I thought I was gonna be flying, and I had to drive my ass off for a 4th place finish. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take it. We just didn't have it, man. We just didn't have it. During practice, I was the 3rd slowest out of us 3, but I'm like, I think I have a little better long road speed than them. I maybe did by the end of the race, but it wasn't touching a podium. Like, it just wasn't. So
yeah, it was a good race.
I'm excited for next season.
I enjoyed it.
I hope you guys enjoy the schedule. I feel like we put a lot of thought into it, into what is and isn't going to be a good product for this league. We're excited to get that out there, get advertising, get people in here. I mean, we got big shoes to fill. I mean, last year we had a rookie class in trucks of 14, and next year we had a rookie class of 20. So that just shows you how much work we had to do, and we'll do that work all over again if we have to keep asses in seats for this league. You know what I mean? So,
speaking of season 7, coming up, anything you were mentioning earlier, some open sponsor opportunities?
Yeah, we do have some sponsor opportunities. Absolutely. The Tuesday Night Truck Series, we did have opening for that.
For the primary sponsorship, right?
Yeah, well, we have the primary sponsorship and the associate. And this was decided before. This was decided like early last week. Nothing to do with what happened this week. So we have opening for the main Truck Series sponsor. And then the associate, you still get your logo rotating on this broadcast for each race. Same for next gen. We're looking for an associate sponsor for that as well. I'm gonna maintain the main sponsorship. I love the series and I have no problem sponsoring it. And keeping that continuity for 7 seasons is really cool. Then for next gen, we just have a little bit more options with Noma TV, and we're thankful for that. So we do have availability for next gen for the caution sponsor. So whenever there's a caution, you'll get your logo for that. Qualifying sponsor, which is the 10 minutes of qualifying, kind of like Coors Light qualifying in real life, or whatever it's called, Busch Light, whatever now. It's kind of like that. Post-race interviews, Victory Lane sponsor, kind of like NASCAR has their, we'll head to the Ruoff Mortgage Victory Lane. Kind of like that, gets you about 10-15 minutes for post-race interviews, etc. Yeah. And then next gen, we do have 12 races available to be sponsored. If we have more interest, I'll give up my other 2 races that I sponsor for that. I don't mind. I'm going to keep the Devtona 500 because that's
the Devtona 500.
The Devtona 500 at Daytona, presented by Dev Sports Cards. Yes.
Talk about a mouthful.
Yeah. So we, they're equal because it's mostly the same drivers, but we're still continuing to say, hey, when you think SCSRA, you think of the next gen Wednesdays. That's the most sponsorship availability. Trucks haven't been bad racing, but the next gen's just been wicked, man. Really good field size. So, a lot of sponsorship available. If any of the guys in the league watch this, we can talk pricing. It's not a lot. It's just enough to be able to get back to you guys and try out some things that we're wanting to do. And you can ask these two. We have a spreadsheet of every penny. There's not a penny that is not untracked or taken from this league. It's whatever has come in since however many seasons now. Since we kind of took it over, it's all been tracked. So we just do that to look to give back to you. None of that money goes to our pockets, as much as I'd like to.
Yeah, we definitely don't get paid for this. No.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. So thank you too, because thank you, Sylvan, too. We all, in our own respect, we each have our own row on this boat. So to keep it going straight, we're all doing our part. So, yeah, man, it's like our little baby. I'll talk it up all day. It's like my own little child. I'll talk it up as much as I need to.
For sure.
But no, man, I'm really excited. We have a lot of plans that we're right now, but could be in the future, because we really want to perfect what we have now before we introduce other ideas. But yeah, who knows, man? Started 2024. By the end of 2025, we'll be starting season 9, and then we're going to be hitting season 10. Man, I'm excited.
That's nuts.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't. When looking through leagues, and Facebook, I don't see many.
They don't stick around this long, man.
I don't see many leagues that stick around as long as we have, or we do. I don't know if admin teams
usually you hear 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Season 2, season 3. That's all you
hear. Yeah. But going on, 10 seasons is incredible that we're going to be doing that. So yeah, it's sponsor opportunities, guys. Got some availability for season 7 coming out. We're also, always working in the background to see if we can, bring on some more opportunities for drivers to support the league, or our fans to support the leagues as well, through discount codes, through different other opportunities. Admin box is one of those currently. We are working on getting a couple more of those as well. From me personally, I just, I enjoy this group of people more than anything. And, definitely made some friendships that will outlast this league, if that ever is the case. I mean, so it's just been a blast. It's been a ride. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Anybody that's come by and been with us for any amount of time, we try to open our arms and welcome everybody as family, and hope you stick around. I mean, we try to have as much fun as we possibly can. So got some opportunities coming up for season 7 for sponsorships. Pay attention, stay tuned for next week. Right after Wednesday's race, we're going to be going live as well. I'm talking about season 7 schedule, what's coming up for season 7. Not a whole lot of changes per se that we know of, and just in case any of the drivers do pay attention to this, just keep in mind that when new season, obviously there may be some revisions to the rule book. I'm going to mention this every week because apparently it didn't work last year.
Are you gonna still offer your public reading?
Absolutely. In
of the
fact,
rule book
we
this
may
season?
even stream it. Who knows?
There you
We're
go.
going to go over every part of the rule book so no one has any questions and that you cannot use it as an excuse.
Wear your jammies and we'll read you a bedtime story.
That sounds great. Just
all 11 sections of the SCSRA rulebook.
We'll get working on the pictures for those of you that don't like to read.
Oh yeah, it's a pop-up. It's a pop-up rulebook.
There we go. There we go.
You can't hit people under yellow and it just pops up. Boom.
Yeah. Wow. Smacks you or something. Don't do that.
Bad juju. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all want to say?
No, not too much more. There weren't really too many milestones this week, I don't think. Well, last week I don't think you guys covered them. I could be wrong. Congrats to D-Wright for hitting. D-Wright and Joe Wright last couple of weeks both passed 150 starts. That's between all series. And then Chucky, congrats on 50 starts. That's crazy that Chucky's already got 50 starts under his belt.
That's nuts. That guy is here week in, week out. We love him.
Yeah, he had to quit the race Tuesday because his stuff failed, and he's still signing up for season 7. He'll probably be at Talladega next week. You know what I mean? His graphics card shit the bed. They're rolling up the backup truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, we had Tyler and Nick both getting their second career wins in the series. Yeah, Eddie didn't expand on his 24 poles in the league. Not this week. Maybe next week. Probably next week.
No, I'll never qualify good there.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want. Reminder, too, for the All-Star race, guys. The only people that are locked in, former champions, and then pole winners and race winners from each series. We have 13 people locked in now. You will have the Open. It's going to be on Tuesday, the 31st. You will have the Open, which is going to be 2 stages. Winner advances from that, each one. So there will be 2 spots if you don't lock yourself in. So right now we're looking at about a 15-car field for the All-Star race. So work on your qualifying for Diga, man. This is a chance. You know, it's not just a pole. It's a chance at $100 for the All-Star race. So, definitely work on your qualifying. And then, obviously, if you can pull off the win, Hail Mary here to you not only get into the get a win, but you get locked into the All-Star race. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's also at Talladega. So this will be good practice for that.
Hey, Dave, you're a stats guy, right? You're the numbers guy?
I am.
Who's had the fastest lap of the race for the last 5 races?
Is he in the room with us right now?
Oh, yeah, he's right here. Yeah, he's right here. It's this guy.
I think it just boils down to practice, man. We've really, since you got your computer fixed, and that's what it takes to win races at this point in this league.
Yeah, you just got to put them together, man. Just got to put them together, and it's hard.
The hour before the race definitely helps if you can get in there, but even an hour, a dedicated, not a BSing around hour sometime in the week. If you really want to, do your research and play with the MCs.
And it don't hurt to go in there with the AI either. That way you can kind of get a feel on other cars and not always having your lane and stuff like that too. So
for sure. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Appreciate everyone that came out. Like, subscribe, comment, get some interaction on the page. If you have any questions, anybody wants any other information or seeing this outside the league has some questions for us, you can definitely reach out to us at admin@scsra.net. Thanks for joining, everybody. See you later. Good luck at Talladega. We'll catch you in the next one.